Hey y'all, my name's Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today's WTH bite is going to be about how to do down dog and giving some different options in it. So just to kind of start out, down dog is when you are hands and knees on the floor, tuck your toes, pop your bottom up towards the sky, and you're in like a triangle position, like in, whenever you add the floor into it. So coming into it, your fingers are really rooting down into the floor, gripping that floor. That's going to help lift the palm of your hand up off the mat some. It's going to lift some of that weight out of your wrists so you're not dumping into them. If your wrists are sore doing this, you can use like a blanket or a towel right underneath of this meaty portion of your palm, or you can always use blocks for your hands as well. Whichever option you use, just remember really push into the floor with those hands. So once we've got our hands stacked up here, gripping down, tuck those toes, zip up those abs, really pull that belly button up towards your spine, and then push your bottom up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. You may need to adjust where your feet are, that kind of thing, to find some length. Your ears and your head are kind of going towards in between your biceps. Your spine is nice and long. That's the main purpose of this pose, is to find that length in your spine. So you're pushing into the floor with your hands, but you're still allowing your shoulder blades to kind of come down your back. Your arms are wrapping in an external rotation. So your bicep is more pointing towards the front of your mat and your elbow towards the back. So if you would bend your elbows are going towards the back of your mat. Your legs can be straight or bent, whatever works to find that length for you. Again, that's the main purpose of the pose. Your feet are typically, what you're cued, is hip distance, same with your hands. Some different options if your chest is really tight and there's no way in hell you can have your hands like shoulder distance. Go ahead and spread them more the width of your mat. And you may even find that it gives you a little bit more openness if you have your hands rotated out just a little bit. Instead of like your middle finger pointing towards the top of your mat, point it out towards like the corner of your mat. So like 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock-ish. And that's going to open it up just a little bit more for you. You can also walk with your feet out, so then your feet are more towards the edges of your mat. You can push into the sides, kind of swaying side to side in it. And really push that chest towards your quads and find that length. Another option, you hear walking it out, pedaling your feet out. So you're just pushing one heel towards the mat than the other. The more you do this pose, the more flexibility you're going to find in your calves and in your tendons back here, where your heels may start to relax more towards the floor. If you're up on your toes, that's perfectly fine. You can always take your right foot to the middle of your mat. Your left foot can step behind your right and then push back in there again. We push that weight towards your feet, and then you're going to feel a stretch on your IT band of whichever foot is still like completely on the floor. So for me, it's my right one because that's the one in the middle. And just make sure you do it on both sides. So your left foot's in the middle, and then your right foot is behind to give that IT band on your left leg a stretch. Your IT band is the one that runs down the side of your leg. It gets super tight from sitting all the time. If you're having problems keeping your arms straight and not kind of doing a whole, pulling it around, you can begin to find some activation using a strap. So you're just putting it around your upper arms as you're going into it. That's going to help you find the activation in this pose. And you can do the same thing with it around your thighs, finding that activation, because you're wanting to activate your outer glutes by thinking about pushing out, but also your inner by pulling in. It's a whole resistance thing. It takes more concentration than you would think it would. And if you're still, like, hell no, Jen, my wrists hurt way too bad doing that, you can do it in dolphin. So your forearms are on the floor, your elbows are right underneath of your shoulders, your fingers, we're still gonna grip the mat just like we would in a regular down dog. Pushing away from the floor, toes are tucked, pop that bottom up towards the sky. You've got all the same things that going on here. That lengthen the spine, pushing away from that floor, finding that activation in your upper back, but bringing your shoulder blades down your spine. Again, your knees can be bent or straight. You can still do the different options of bringing a foot behind the other foot, stretching out that IT band, pedaling them. If you want to bring your feet wider, you can, rock side to side. About the only option you don't have so much in this dolphin pose is with your arms out wide on the edges of your mat. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. There's probably not enough space for your head. So if you're doing dolphin, keep your arms right underneath of your shoulders. Always keep your abs zipped up, your chest is pulled in, so we're knitting our ribs together, abs pulled in. Find that length. Length is always so important. If y'all have any questions about dolphin, please let me know. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. May you always stay true in your intentions, true to your heart's desire, and speak loving truth to those around you. Love ya.